Hello and welcome to another beautiful day on review. It is Democracy Day and a lot of people are back home watching Oweleketv right now. You're doing the right thing. Let's bring you to speed with some very vital things that happens in government offices. Not just government offices, but between employers and employees. My name is Ramsey Enoch and this is Review. Joining me on the conversation is Michael Ekenedile-Chukwu. Good morning, Michael.
Good morning, Ramsey.
Happy Democracy Day.
Happy Democracy Day. But then, has Nigeria been reaping dividends of democracy?
That's what I wanted to ask. I wanted to ask you, what have you enjoyed since democracy came on board?
Since the inception, 1999, 2000, it's been upheaval, down, upheaval. We've been on a roller coaster of things will happen and we start smiling, prices of fuel comes down. It's like, oh, it's getting better.
Before you know it,
it deteriorates. so
apart from fuel, okay, let's say something now. I'm not talking about this administration because I know this administration has the highest fuel pump price so far. So far, since 1999 till date, is there anything you can point to and say, wow, it's good that Nigeria is now a democratic setting, a democratic country practicing democracy?
The only thing I can point at is telecommunications. Yeah. Way back then, we were using Econet wireless.
I want to know.
You see your body from Econet wireless. Inspired to rule you. That's way back 1999. You have to queue to make calls, and you have to go. Those are using Samsung and Motorola, but then I think Obasanjo brought in telecommunications. The MTN came in, Glo came in, and then we started having these telecommunications. Nitel lost their staffs.
Nitel, yes. There was this Nitel. Yeah, there was this time that you need to walk into the booth, carry that long phone, put it in your ears, make your call. You have to queue to do that. But now everybody have access to a handset, a phone, a GSM phone.
A SIM card.
Oh, that's good.
That's what we've been doing. But from every other thing in the economy, food, security has been a roller coaster of positive and negative. We've not had it steady.
We've not had it steady. Well, that's true. Let me say something now. We started with GSM as one of the dividends of democracy, but then this GSM has been used positively and negatively too, because some employers use this very phone for sexual harassment. Yeah,
very well.
That takes us to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, where the minister is saying the PermSec has to be brought to book because of the sexual harassment case.
Yeah.
Let's look at it now. This is one among many. We just got to know that there was a sexual harassment case at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and the minister is saying the PermSec needs to be brought to book. Oftentimes, we hear where people take advantage of vulnerable citizens who are looking for employment to take advantage of them sexually. And right now, a PermSec is in the net. What do you think about this happening? Were you ever thinking this kind of thing was going to happen with a PermSec, not the position of a PermSec in the ministry?
Very critical.
Very critical. And
yeah,
it is the PermSec that is being caught in this net. So what do you think about this?
It's regrettable. Regrettable because the leader is meant to be an example, an epitome of it's meant to be an epitome of transparency and leadership. What that means is that you're a role model and people want to talk about those at the top. But it's been regrettable in all strata of the economy, not just the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. It's in some private offices. This is just one of the ones that became conspicuous because the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Yusuf Tuga, made a petition to the Federation or to Nigeria and said this PermSec has to be investigated, and then it became conspicuous. But it happens in our office. It's just the ones that did not speak up. We have several offices, private firms, crime.
I think private firms is even. I think it's even worse.
It's more in private firms because you see people who are not eligible occupying posts. I said this before and I can say it again with my full chest. There are several offices that pays well that you cannot step into, even with a good result, first class, second class, upper.
Even with your intellectuals, with your skills, with your expertise.
Absolutely, even your expertise, you have to see somebody that will see somebody. You have to lobby your way through. Sometimes you have to, they'll say, bar for ground and then something in your hands. That's what's been happening in Nigeria.
But then, looking at all this, who do you think is to be blamed? We talked about GSM in the first place. Obasanjo brought GSM. GSM is one of the tools that people use for this. You see people sending nude pictures. That's how it gets started.
Yeah.
You see people chatting.
Yeah.
You see people doing so many things. GSM that's supposed to be a positive thing. People use it for the negative. And as a matter of fact, don't digress.
Even the PermSec used it, Ambassador Adamu, because he called Mrs. Simisola, the woman in the picture, woman involved. When the Minister of Foreign Affairs, he mentioned names. Mrs. Simisola is a major case that pointed out, has video evidences and core evidences that this man has been assaulting me. She made mention of when 2003, the man told him, hey, you're going to travel to Hong Kong very soon. And
that's one of those things. These are the things they use as bait. And guilt now.
There are benefits that comes with this travel. Do you want to go? Of course, you have to be with me in a hotel. Also, this thing. And the woman was like, I'm married, Mrs., not Miss. I'm married, though. And this protest in the ministry was not out of place. That means all the staffs have been going through this sexual harassment, discrimination, and intimidation.
Some of the staff, not all the staff.
Some of the staffs. Because
if you say all the staff now, it's going to be somehow incriminating. Some of the staff.
Is it Solomon? Some of the staffs.
Solomon, how many wives? Someone was saying the other day that he wants to be like Solomon. I say, hey, do you have Solomon's grace and all of that?
Most people think it's easy to get to that, but then let's talk about this. If the Minister of Foreign Affairs calls out it is very, very sad. There's been a preponderance of that. It's been happening. They've been sweeping under the carpet. Yeah. That he decided to call this one out.
Who knows how many people have been victims in the hand of this
Many
PermSec?
have been victimized.
Who knows?
And not
Semisola is just the one that her case is being known now, and the minister is stepping into it. I think I should give kudos to the minister for doing that.
I think Semisola actually has a level, because for her to petition Femi Falana, SAN, that means she's... For those who do not have that money and level and capacity,
you don't have the voice.
How can you even get to Femi Falana and then petition him to carry on the case before it to be publicized? There are people, the cleaners, the media workers, coppers that come.
Core members.
Yeah, core members that come for.
That of core members. They will even tell them, they'll promise them you'll get a job after your service. But then your back needs to be on the ground.
Absolutely. Especially those that are endowed. So when you're endowed, they'll tell you, don't go.
Is it a bad thing to be endowed now? Is it a bad thing for God to create people with endowments?
Things are happening in this country. So it's not just the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Other ministries are also, some are swept under the carpet, some are bought with money. But then Nigerian, I try to look into what Nigeria will look in the next 5 to 10 years. I envisage our ladies not being role models, because things are happening in this country.
Hold your thought. I think that's going to be the size. Well, maybe we'll need to talk about this some other time again. Yeah. Time is not
here. Some of the staffs,
because we're just talking about the PermSec here. We've not talked about private sectors. Yeah. We've not talked about how these things serve as a stigma to people who are involved. We've not talked about how these people underperform in their offices as soon as they come in contact with a person that they are involved with. Their functionality will reduce. We've not talked about all of that. Absolutely. All right, viewers, we'll talk more about this maybe some other time. But then, I think this PermSec needs to be investigated. And it's so good that Mrs. Semisola Ajayi is actually taking it up. Adamu have not done well at all as a PermSec, going as far as harassing a married woman for that matter. But then, this is one among many. Every minister, every PermSec, every office holder, every every employer, every superior officer who is taking advantage of the ladies that works with them, you should be on the watch, because you may escape one, you may not escape the other. One day, many days for the thief, then one day for the owner. So you might be caught very soon, and that act should be stopped, so that at least we can do things that will contribute and make our economy better than what it is right now, and not putting square peg in a round hole because you are benefiting something that is not even good in the first place. Thank you very much, Michael, for coming around. Thank you, viewers, for being there. We'll come on your way again, and that's going to be tomorrow, same time, same station. Bye bye for now. My name is Ramsey Enoch.